All right, so the big question, prime versus zoom. All right, so there's a lot of talk about whether people should be going either prime versus a zoom lens. Honestly, for you, not a big deal. I wouldn't really concern yourself with it too much. Okay, so just really basic. A prime lens just means that it is one focal length, which basically means it doesn't zoom in, it doesn't zoom out. It is a fixed lens, okay? So you got to move around a little bit whenever you're taking your photos. Or you have your zoom lens, which your zoom lens is going to be a little bit more versatile, meaning that you can stand way back and get the shot that you want without having to be creeping around all over the place and, you know, trying to do all this kind of stuff. But with this one, it's really nice because you can stand really far back and get the shot that you want. Now, this one is my 70-200. It is a fixed f-stop, which means it's not going to be changing your f-stop all the way through different kinds of zoom ranges, which a little bit more advanced. For those of you who are pretty familiar, you know, we have your kit lenses like the ones that we use for U-Media, and those ones, you know, they work and they're not bad and really good for like outside stuff. Whenever you start getting inside, it gets kind of tricky because sometimes we can get a little bit too dark in there, or you don't get the blurry backgrounds that you like. Now, whenever you get these ones that are a fixed f-stop, that's going to help, okay? So, as I said, this is my 70-200. This is my favorite lens I've ever owned. I've had it since pretty much the beginning of my career. It's pretty beat up. I use it and abuse it. But this is an expensive lens, and sometimes you got to spend the money if you really, really want good equipment, okay? But anyways, so this one right here, as you can see, yeah, I got all these dials that nice and twist and all that kind of stuff. So this is your like for focusing. This is for zooming in and out. All right, so you see this right here. See how that's got like little things right there? As you start to move it, it's going to start focusing on different things. And see this right here? Okay, see how I'm moving that, and see how that little tick right there is moving on there. That means it's at 200 millimeters. That means it's at 70 millimeters. Okay, it really comes down to what you really want to be shooting. Now, I'm a fan of shooting just with primes because I know what I'm going to get every single time, okay? I do love using this, and as I said, it is my favorite lens, but that doesn't mean that I use it all the time. I actually use this lens right here more often than not. So just because it's a smaller lens, and it actually is pretty inexpensive, just don't count it out. Really just find what works for you, okay? Don't just go out and buy the most expensive lens you can. Because sometimes it doesn't always work out that well, and you don't always know how to use it right away. But start with a fixed lens. Start with a small 50 millimeter, like 1.8 or 1.4. It's gonna be a great lens, and I think you guys can use it a lot. Okay, so that's all you really need to know off the start about these two different kinds of lenses. So next we'll be talking about how we can actually use them.